Any last minute changes with anybody being in and out?
No.
Okay, I was just making sure. A couple games ago, you used Luke with the bench to generate more spacing. Last game, you used Terrence, to get downhill to the rim. I know there's only 3 games left in this regular season, but are you more or less using these games as a way to find out, particularly with the bench combinations, what works and doesn't?
Yes, I think it's most important right there. Bench, and like I said, the combination with PG, one of those guys on the floor, and having the right people around him. So that's what we're just trying to work at right now and just trying to figure it out.
Thanks.
Thanks. We'll go next to Christina.
Hey, Ty. Obviously, Nick's back in Charlotte for the first time tonight. When you look back at you guys bringing him in, he's meant so much to you. Where is he now versus what you expected when you guys signed him?
When we first signed him, we didn't think he was. I didn't think he was going to be this. He's so important and so valuable to our team on both sides of the floor. I think being a great passer, shooting 40% from three, but defensively being able to go 1 through 5. We put him on everybody, and him blocking shots, him denying the point guard so they can't get the ball back. And like I said, when he first came in, we didn't expect this much from him. Marcus, missing the first 10 or 11 games of the season, Nico stepped in and starting. He was great. Like I said, without Reggie and Nico this year, we could be in the playing game with all the injuries we've had this season. But he stepped in and he's been so much to this team. So he's very important to what we're trying to do going forward.
All right, thanks, Ty.
Next, we'll go to Law.
Hey, Ty, I know you've discussed the shooting a lot this year, and you've praised guys like Shawn Fine, the players for putting in the work. I just want to know from your perspective, you had some really pretty good shooting teams in Cleveland. How does your shooting ability, especially from three, the development of that in the regular season, kind of change as teams understand how good a team can shoot in terms of the postseason?
Well, we had it both ways when I was in Cleveland. Some teams said we wanted to take away LeBron and Kyrie's penetration and make them make threes, and we shown we can do that. And they switch it all the way up and say, okay, no threes, and let those guys get to the paint and try to finish. So when our team was different in Cleveland, is that the guys that shoot the basketball, they can also put the ball on the floor and make plays. So in Cleveland, we had Channing Frye who couldn't really dribble or pass. RJ couldn't really dribble or pass. Kyle Korver, they couldn't dribble. JR. So it's a little different. Kyrie and Bron haven't made every play for those guys pretty much. But on this team, if they don't have a shot, we got all the guys who put the ball on the floor. Reggie can put it on the floor. Luke can put it on the floor. Nico, Marcus. So that's what makes our team different. Once they penetrate and kick, if they don't have a shot, they can put the ball back on the floor and make it someone else.
Charlotte tends to be a really zone-heavy team. I know we discussed earlier this week about using this week to kind of get yourself ready for the playoffs. Like, what would you like to see in terms of preparing for next weekend that this Charlotte defense could help you get ready?
Yeah, like you said, they play a lot of zone. They do a lot of switching. I think they're number 1 in the league as far as switching, I think, or maybe top 2. They do a lot of switching as well. So those are definitely things that we need to work on, like I said, going forward to next weekend. And like I said, our team's been preparing. We understand what we need to do, and so we just got to go out there and do it.
Thanks, Law. Cam, go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Coach.
Yeah. Are y'all not wearing y'all masks because of the new thing that just came out?
That's right. That's right.
Mask free?
The mask free, baby.
Okay.
If you're fully vaccinated, are you fully vaccinated, Coach?
Yes, I am.
Well, take off the mask, man.
No.
It's gotta be right here.
I understand. I understand, Coach. About LeMelo Ball. He obviously has some time out away from the game. Have you seen some difference in preparing for him this game since he's been out? Have you seen a difference in his play since you guys played him originally?
No, it's the same player. I think up tempo, great passer. He's shooting the ball. He's shooting the ball decent, and he's going to be up tempo, pushing the basketball, trying to get through the baskets, trying to get out of transition. So nothing's really changing him. He's still attacking the basket, getting down here.
Thanks, Coach.
Next up, Tomer.
Hey, Ty, I'm at home, so no mask for me. But did anyone ask you about Serge yet? I jumped a little late.
No, Serge, he's not playing tonight.
But what's going on with him? Is he participating in anything that you guys are doing, or is he close at all?
Yeah, we hopefully he plays tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%, but that's our goal.
Okay. And then do you prefer the end of the season to be this tight with no seeds known yet, or do you prefer it to be known already? You like to be known already?
I want to know so we can get the early preparation, but that's how it's been for the last 4 or 5 years. It always comes down to the wire the last couple of games. But me personally, I would like to know early.
Okay, thanks.
Next to Farbad.
Hey, Coach, has practices gotten a little bit more intense now that you've gotten all the guys kind of almost back together and you've had Rondo, Pat, Boogie? I imagine like practices with all these guys could be super intense. Has anything kicked up on that scale?
That's why I love practice. That's why our practice is more so walkthroughs and mental days of just understanding what we want defensively, getting our foundation in, and then offensively understanding what we want to run and execute. But no 5-on-5 for me this late in the season.
And on another aside, I mean, you've practiced with Kobe, and we've seen footage of how intense some of his practices have been and how intense Michael Jordan's practices have been. Has there been anyone kind of in the modern NBA you've seen that could have anything remotely similar to how intense those practices were with a Kobe or an MJ?
Well, that's how Kevin Garnett used to be when I was in Boston, right? Everything goes, and we had some crazy practices with Paul Pierce and Ray and Rondo and all those guys. But because he was a ringleader, he what you saw in the game exactly what you saw in practice.
Thanks. Looks like we have a follow from Tomer. Go ahead, Tomer.
Ty, I wanted to ask you about this is unrelated to the game, but Russell Westbrook set the all-time triple-double record the other day. I'm just curious. There's a lot made about him and his style of play, but when you see a kind of record like that in today's NBA, like what does that say to you?
I don't know what it really says to me, but it just says about Russell, just putting the work in, how far he had to come. I'm thinking UCLA played 2 guard. When coming to the NBA, becoming a point guard and kind of a hybrid point guard, but to do what he's done at that position is incredible. And every year he's gotten better at something. Improved shooting, improved passing, improved a lot of different things throughout his career. And to see something, record broken that we thought would never be broken, I just said a lot about Russell and what he puts in and how he competes and plays every single night.
Thanks.
Thanks. Time for one last question. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, Coach, I know you've been harping on turnovers a lot lately, and Charlotte likes to get up tempo and force things to get guys to be sped up. What's a way that you guys can kind of limit the turnovers against this team?
Make the simple pass and simple play.
Simple as that?
Simple as that.
All right. Thank you, sir.